It is 6:46. The ceasefire with Iran is hanging on by a thread this morning as attacks in Lebanon by Israel led to Iran closing the Strait of Hormuz again.
Our Scripps News Group national correspondent joining us after this break with a look at what the White House.
She's actually joining us now. So, Stephanie, good morning.
Sure.
Can you bring us up to speed on the closing of this and what the reaction is this morning?
Hey, Blaine and Aaron, good morning. Well, I want to start with what we heard from President Trump overnight. He posted on Truth Social talking about the state of the ceasefire agreements and saying what would happen next if there is not an agreement that goes into place. So the president wrote all U.S. ships, aircraft, and military personnel with additional ammunition, weaponry, and anything else that is appropriate and necessary for the lethal prosecution and destruction of an already substantially degraded enemy will remain in place in and around Iran until such time as the real agreement reached is fully complied with. The president goes on to say if the U.S. increases its attacks again, they'll be bigger, better and stronger than ever before, but he specifies no nuclear weapons will be used, and he says that the Strait of Hormuz needs to be open and safe. So the president making it very clear that he has no intention of moving our military assets away from the region until there is a more permanent deal in place. But part of the big problems with this current 2-week ceasefire that was proposed and put together by Pakistan is there are crucial areas where the key countries aren't on the same page. You mentioned the attacks in Lebanon. Israel has made it very clear they're going to continue those attacks. Israel and the White House saying that Lebanon was never part of the ceasefire deal. But the Strait of Hormuz was never really opened. There are maritime tracking agencies that say there was no increase in shipping traffic moving through the Strait of Hormuz Wednesday versus Tuesday when the ceasefire deal first went into effect Tuesday evening. So the Strait of Hormuz isn't reopening. Attacks are continuing in Lebanon, but at least U.S. offensive attacks have not happened since the ceasefire deal was signed. And it seems overall attacks in the region have gone down. So there are elements of progress and good news with this ceasefire, but there are some key critical areas of disagreement where the core countries involved are not on the same page. Iran has formally accused the U.S. of violating the ceasefire, in part because of Israel's attacks on Lebanon, but also because of how the White House is talking about uranium enrichment for the future of Iran. The president has put on Truth Social that he wants to see zero enrichment in Iran, and that's what we heard from the White House press secretary yesterday. But Iran insists that they need to be able to enrich uranium for civilian purposes, for nuclear power. So that's a key area of disagreement that could be a non-starter, it is a red line really for both countries that will make negotiations and progress really kind of tough. But on track, we are still expecting to see some peace talks this weekend in Islamabad, Pakistan.
Yeah, we know Vice President J.D. Vance is going to be leading those negotiations. So, Stephanie, thank you for the recap on all of this. We will be watching very closely.